Hello and welcome to the Great Movies Show. Tonight's show is going to be a little bit different. With cinemas now opening up again across the country, we thought we'd take a look at the films we've all been waiting for so long. So tonight, you'll have our reactions and honest feedback as we watch some trailers for the first time and some that we're watching for the third or fourth, but haven't seen for a year or so since before the pandemic started, but they've been on hold, if that makes sense. With a Great Movie Show, we can't promise these are going to be great movies, but I can tell you we're both excited about watching them and seeing how they're going to turn out. So tonight's show is a coming soon show. Enjoy. Yeah, so the observant amongst you would have noticed that it's just myself and Dave tonight. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Hello. Adam's off saving the world, so just the two of us tonight. So you'll get our honest and open feedback about what we think about the trailers and the films that are upcoming to see in the cinemas. And unfortunately, you won't get Adam's sort of deep dive into it won an Oscar or it was nominated or it was this and that this time. But I'm sure he will enlighten us as the shows go on. So, Dave, what have you got in store for us?
Right. Okay. We've got a few different movies we're going to go through tonight. I think the common thread is that the movies that you and I are kind of both excited about seeing. Put them in chronological order for what it's worth in terms of the order of release. So,
all right, okay,
yeah. So
not when made, because some of these were made like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, no, I mean they've all been on the shelf for the last year, but yeah, I went and checked the release dates, so that's the order we're going to watch them in. So the first one we're going to watch is A Quiet Place Part 2.
Oh, cool!
Which is coming out on the 3rd of June.
Did you like the first one?
Yeah, I did like the first one, and I think there was a spate of kind of copycat movies on the back of it, if you recall.
Yeah,
certainly that Bird Box with Sandra Bullock on
Netflix one, Sandra Bullock, straight to Netflix.
And I'm just sitting there watching it with my arms crossed, just going, "Oh, that's very much like A Quiet Place." Well, the whole world is going bonkers for it.
Yeah, but movie studios do it. You know, if you remember the year of Armageddon, there was Deep Impact as well.
Mm.
It's like the studio doesn't want to buy the idea, so they get screenwriters to come and write something similar, but that they can get away with and then release it at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved A Quiet Place. I thought it was really good. I'm a big fan of John Krasinski anyway. Emily Blunt's Emily Blunt. I've chosen her in Trading Places before now, you know, so I do hold her in quite high regard. Yeah, I thought it was good. It's got a mix of everything. My heart was broken in the first scene, I think it was, with their youngest boy. And being a dad, you'd be the same as me, and any dad's watching. When John Krasinski is just sprinting his heart out, he just looks at his wife and then sprints his heart. You know, we'd all be doing exactly the same thing. So that wasn't nice. And then again, John Krasinski towards the end, just being the dad again and just protecting his kids. You know, it's great, and everything in between. It's all really good. Emily Blunt was fantastic in it as well, and the kids are good in it. They're really good. So yeah, I'm very excited about this second one.
Yeah, I'm wondering what certificate it is actually. I think it's a 15. Because I watched the first one with my son. He's not quite 15, it has to be said, and he really enjoyed it. He likes his horror movies, but obviously he was devastated to realise he's not going to be able to go and see it in the cinema. And there's the other thing probably worth mentioning is there's a kind of an indirect thread to some of the other movies. There's a few Marvel movies that we're going to be looking at. I don't know if you've heard the rumours about John Krasinski and Emily Blunt and the MCU.
Yeah, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, so it's been a rumour that's persisted for a while now, and I think she actually publicly denied it now. Last week, I think it was, or earlier this week, she said she's definitely, which probably means she definitely is. Contractually obliged, probably, to say that she isn't. And I think John Krasinski, again, if I'm not wrong, I think he auditioned for Captain America as well back in the day.
He did. Yeah. He tells it. He regales that story. He did. You know, when it was relevant a couple of years ago. Saying he went in, thought he did really well, and then he walked out and he saw Chris Hemsworth I think, who just auditioned for Thor or something like that. And Chris Hemsworth at the time had really built himself up, and he just sort of said, I ain't got a chance. He goes, I was like, thanks for coming, and just left. But he would have made a good Cap. I think we talked about this before. He would have been a really good Captain America.
I think it took for me to see Wyatt Russell as the new Captain America / US agent in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier to realize that although Chris Evans now, is quintessentially Captain America, realistically, anyone is as soon as they put the suit on. It just takes getting used to it. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you've got to inhabit the role as well, and you've got to.
Yeah, exactly. And his sensibilities were different, weren't they, with Wyatt? What was his name?
John Walker.
Yeah, Walker.
Was it Walker? Was it John Walker?
Even though his sensibilities are completely different, he was still Captain America, wasn't he? So it's absolutely right. Chris Evans isn't the be all and end all for the role. He played it very well. But yeah, so I think going back to Fantastic Four, I think John Krasinski can do something. It's the third iteration in modern times, isn't it, of Fantastic Four, the third cast.
Because Chris Evans played the Human Torch. Johnny Flame, is it?
Yeah, in the first one, and then it was redone again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then this will be the third time it's done. It's not really taken off any time either.
No pun intended.
Yeah, this might do it. But anyway, Dave, right? So let's have a look at Quiet Place 2.
The first thing I have to say is obviously that bell rang when he opened the door, which isn't ideal.
Yeah, I imagine this is the fact he's gone to a supermarket that's fully stocked with food, Dave. I'd say this is before the aliens come to the planet.
That would make sense.
Easter egg. Spaceship from the first. It's got a bag of oranges.
What happened? A bomb, I think. I don't know why he came all the way up here. There's nothing left.
There are people out there. People worth saving.
Most people had finally given up hope.
Right, so I realised watching it, I was totally confused. I didn't know whether it was before or after. I thought it was going to be after then, based on when, what you said, the supermarket was stocked, people were alive.
And John Krasinski was alive, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So it's all, it looked like the build-up to the first movie, but then potentially some actual crossover with the first movie.
It'll be a little bit of a kind of flashback, maybe. Of like when it all first, because it jumped straight into it in the movie, which was great about it in the first movie. That you're trying to figure out, and then on John Krasinski's board, there's various different theories of how there's the newspaper clippings of where they've come, that sort of thing, almost like a Shaun of the Dead. Where they're given different threads of how the zombies could come about. Well, there's those little theories about the aliens, and then theories about how to kill them and things. So it'll just be a flashback about them getting the family together and then maybe finding a safe haven. Then it'll probably go to where we were after the first movie, where, right, okay, what do we do now? Well, they've kind of figured out a way to maybe attack these things. But but I don't know. They've needed to move for some reason. They're moving from their safe haven with all the sand on the ground. I think that's what I think the deadliest thing about the moving is it's like you see with The Walking Dead and other sort of like apocalypse films. It's not the zombie, it's not the starvation, it's not the aliens that are the biggest threat. It's the human race, and in these sort of fictions. So moving away from their own little habitation where they're just all together in one family, coming together with other people who are willing to do whatever to survive. That's probably going to be the hardest thing for them. That's probably I think it's going to drive a few plots in the film.
I think it's going to be kind of a sequel, but with flashbacks to contextualize and explain the first one.
Yeah, whether they use one big flashback at the beginning or they keep on chucking them in. I'm not too sure what they'll do. I don't know. Maybe they'll start with the flashback and then jump into modern day.
Well, Cillian Murphy was in it, so presumably he's going to take the kind of male lead, so to speak, in the absence of John Krasinski.
Yeah, good guy or bad guy.
Yeah. I'm sure he will be presented as the crazy guy at the start, but then he's the guy that's there to protect them. Yeah,
possibly. Well, I'm really looking forward to that anyway. I really want to see it. I think they did a great job. And then as soon as they did the first one, they were right in the second. John Krasinski came out and said so. It was in the pipeline, and they filmed it a while ago. So yeah, I'll definitely be watching that.
Okay. Cool. Right.
All right. Thumbs up. I want to see that. I like the trailer. I want to see it. Cool. Right. What have you got for us next?
Right. Okay. So moving on to 9th of July, is going to be Black Widow. Finally gets its big screen release. I think it's been moved 3 times now. I think since last year.
Right. Yeah.
And then there was very serious.
You want to say talks straight to Disney Plus or not?
Yeah, should it have gone to Disney Plus? I personally think that it would have been the most successful of all of the things that went onto the premium tier. I know that Mulan, I personally would have paid for it.
Yeah, Mulan, Raya and the Last Dragon didn't pay for either of those, but I possibly would have paid for this one.
I would have paid to watch it at home, but that's only if the cinemas weren't open. I would still always prefer to go and watch it on the big screen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And funny thing about Black Widow is, I mean, I've gone from knowing very little about Marvel movies and the MCU, and there is obviously we've got story about that as well, about how it took me about 5 years to realize that those movies were all connected. I thought they were all standalone. I did not realize they were all interconnected, and my mind was literally blown when I realized. But yeah, Black Widow, part of me was thinking, meh, I'm not really that bothered about it.
I felt the same. I felt like the same, but I feel a bit more invested in it now.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah, I feel more emotionally invested in Scarlett Johansson than what I knew. I mean Natasha Romanoff.
Do you know what? I'm excited about seeing this now on the back of the recent Marvel series. So this is part of their next phase, isn't it? And we've had, TV series, WandaVision. We've had Falcon and Winter Soldier. We've got Loki coming next week.
I think it's a couple of weeks.
And the budgets on them and the storyline and everything that's been put together for those has been outstanding. So another Marvel movie, I think it should be fantastic. And I've had a quick look at the cast as well. So I think that'll be quite good.
I think Loki's going to be brilliant. I think it's going to be like, it's going to take the time travel elements of Endgame, and I think it's going to ratchet it up even more. It's going to totally...
Is it time travel or multiverse? What's it going to do you reckon?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. Right. I think they're really having to set the scene for Doctor Strange 2, aren't they, in the multiverse of madness and Quantumania, the new Ant-Man movie. They're kind of basically just saying now, as an audience, you need just to accept that anything goes, because we need to do whatever we need to do just to bring characters back and say that they still exist. And
exactly.
They disappeared there, but now they're back again because we want to do this story. Because they need to have ultimate artistic freedom to do whichever comic storylines they want to do. Exactly. Combinations of characters. Right, here we go. Black Widow.
You don't know everything about me. I've lived a lot of lives. Before I was an Avenger. Before I got this family. I mean, mistakes. Choosing between what the world wants.
Did you know? So it's not relevant to this movie, but it's relevant to the movie that's on the screen right now. Did you know that those suits were entirely CGI?
No.
So basically, when they filmed that scene, the whole time travel, the time machine, and there's that really cool, almost Reservoir Dogs-esque shot where they're they're all walking towards the machine. It's like slow mo from the side. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It struck me as being Reservoir Dogs-esque. But it turns out that when they filmed that sequence, they were all just wearing their normal superhero costumes.
Oh, right.
They knew that they were all going to eventually have these quantum suits, but they hadn't yet been designed. So they just filmed them in their own costumes, and then by the time the quantum suits have been designed and signed off by the studio, they just CGI'd them in over the top.
Right. That's
You
good
wouldn't know,
effort.
would you?
Pretty good. Well, the helmets and stuff you can see are a bit different. Like it's like Stark technology. It's a bit, that's CGI going over the top.
Yeah.
Before this scene as well, it showed the kind of intro of Age of Ultron. Where they're going through that forest and they all do a jump at the same time. I hate that. They're all lined up.
I'm torn on that.
Hawkeye with his bow and the Hulk jumping over and Captain America on his bike, all jumping all in the line. I was like, that's the cheesiest moment from the current Marvel universe. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Whoever signed that off, I don't know how they got away with it.
Well, it's like they're trying to say, remember, kids, this was a comic book. This is a comic book frame we're looking at. I mean, I notice more and more when I'm watching Marvel movies, some frames that look like they would have come straight out of a comic. And I'm sure some cases they actually have, but not for that reason, just because of the way that a set of pictures been framed in a certain way. But yeah, that is, I think if you're watching it back now as well, something about the CGI is a little bit jarring as well. Yeah. So it's a bit silly, isn't it, really, the way they all come together at that split second.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still think it's quite cool. I don't know. Yeah, I know. It's shallow. Right, here we go.
Wants you to be.
No, Natasha.
And who you are.
Hey, that looks awesome.
Back to where it all started.
Where did you think I was all this time?
We have unfinished business.
My girls are the toughest girls in the world.
So this is like the family, the Black Widow family.
Not family per se. I think they were kind of they're both Black Widow agents, if that's the word. So if you remember, she talks about where she was trained, and there's like a flashback sequence coming down like a wooden staircase. There's a name for it which escapes me, and she said they're all sterilized because it's one less distraction kind of thing. And I think you see like a little montage of them doing ballet and stuff. So she's obviously from that same regime as what Natasha is.
We have our orders and we played our roles.
It wasn't real.
But did I mention Rachel Weisz when I did my Hollywood crushes?
No,
I forgot. She was for a while. Right, sorry. Back to Black Widow.
It was real to me. To me, you were everything.
Bring her home.
That Ray Winston?
it looked like it, didn't it?
Yeah, it's annoying.
That must be a character. That must be a Marvel character that we should know.
That the one that's just fired the arrow?
Yeah.
I think they're called Taskmaster, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, okay.
One thing's for sure. I'm done running from my past.
I like the little Russian twist on the Avengers theme then.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
oh,
do you know what?
It says Disney Plus. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, Premier Access.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, Dave. Right place. Yeah.
Yeah. Or order it on Disney Plus Premier Access.
It
Oh,
doesn't
right,
say
okay.
it doesn't say the release date, so maybe this was a previous version when they were still planning on
Right.
it. It says
Yeah.
2021 Marvel at the bottom, but interesting.
Right. Yeah. You heard it here first. We've got it completely wrong here first on the Great Movie Show. Do you know what? I could take or leave that. It didn't. It's wowed me less than the TV series did. I know it's only a trailer, but we shall see. I'll go and watch it in the cinema.
We barely even saw David Harbour in that. We certainly didn't see him as his modern day older character. We saw him as a young fellow with like curtains, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm just that excited. Plus, David Harbour's a dude as well, so I think it's good to have him in the MCU.
I think that worked really well. It'd be nice to see him in other things as well. Cool. So, Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So the first trailer's called
2 or Suicide Squad Reboot.
It's called the first one was called Suicide Squad. This new version's called the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I don't know what the reason for that is, if it's some kind of copyright or trademark, but I guess they're both DC, so it's probably just to differentiate it, but they wanted to make it clear that it wasn't a sequel. And if they should call this one Suicide Squad as well, that would probably be confusing. So it's still confusing nonetheless. So this is called the Suicide Squad official Red Band trailer.
You gotta be kidding me. You're gonna risk the entire mission for a mental defective dressed as a court jester. It's coming from a guy that wears a toilet seat on his head. We don't leave one alone.
John Cena.
All that.
Yeah, John Cena. Idris
Elba as well.
Idris Elba, the guy from that Altered Carbon, is it, on Netflix?
Yeah.
Blonde hair. What's he called?
Yeah, and The Killing as well. I can't remember his name. Idris Elba. So is he playing Will Smith's character? If this is a reboot, or is it a new character?
Sure. No, he's playing a character called Bloodsport.
Oh right, okay.
So this, obviously the Will Smith character isn't even in this movie, from what I can see.
Right.
I'll read you quickly the name of the characters: Harley Quinn, Rick Flag, King Shark, who's voiced by Sylvester Stallone. Taika Waititi's in it, but I'm not saying uncredited, but it just doesn't say what the name of his character is. Right. Bloodsport, Sol Surya, Savant, TDK. That was Nathan Fillion. Michael Rooker's in it. He played Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy, played a character called Savant. Pete Davidson plays Blackguard. Jai Courtney plays Captain Boomerang. Viola Davis she was in the first one as well. John Cena.
Jai Courtney was in the first one as well.
Yeah. I thought it was Tom Hardy when I was watching it because I'm stupid. David Dastmalchian. I know who he is. Can't pronounce his name. Polka Dot Man. Sean Gunn's in it. Obviously, he's James Gunn's younger brother or older brother. He's also in Guardians of the Galaxy. And Flula Borg playing Javelin. No idea who that is. Wow.
No funny business, Arnold. These are dangerous people.
You two is clear to go.
Fire up. 3, 2.
What are you guys doing?
What?
We're here to save you.
You were gonna save me?
It was a really good plan, too.
Well, I can go back inside and you can still do it.
Obviously, Margaret Robbie.
I'm so sorry. Harley Quinn.
Yeah, still hot.
You know the deal. Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence. Times are hard. You fail to follow my orders in any way, and I detonate the explosive device in the base of your skull. Can do the job.
So, are you getting the impression, just from the trailer, and obviously it is James Gunn, and some of the cast members are obviously from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and
the
soundtrack.
Music, it's all feeling a bit Marvel, isn't it? It's like DC have realised they need to take a slight change of direction, not be so serious.
Yeah.
It's a bit more stylized, a bit more,
Give the people what they want.
So this is the famous Suicide Squad.
Nom nom.
I'm not sure how I feel about the shark.
Yeah, that's a bit funny, isn't it? How's he come about?
Not in a good way either. I mean, I can suspend disbelief to a certain degree, but that just looks silly and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Any questions?
And
Yes, that is your hand. Very good.
we're all gonna die.
I hope so.
Oh, for sake.
Here's
I have to believe that.
we fail the mission, you die.
If we find out any information you give us is false, you die.
If we find out you have personalized license,
Oh, he wasn't in the.
you die.
That was, what's his name on it? Scottish doctor.
Peter thingy. Yeah.
Peter Capaldi. Yeah, Lewis Capaldi.
No,
If you cough without covering your mouth,
hardly. Although that isn't an open invitation for you to cough without covering your mouth.
What's the plan? How the hell am I supposed to know? You're the leader. You're supposed to be decisive. And I've decided that you should eat a big bag of dicks. If this whole beach was completely covered in dicks, and somebody said I'd eat every dick until the beach was clean for liberty, I would say no problemo.
Why would someone put penises all over the beach?
Who knows why madmen do what they do?
So is it just me, or is he basically playing Drax? Just with his very straight lace, very literal kind of interpretation and repetition
Yeah,
thing,
I guess so.
without any, taking things basically out of, is that out of context or completely in context? He's basically unable to interpret anything that's anything other than completely literal.
Yeah.
This is suicide.
Well, that's kind of our thing.
Are you worried? I'm gonna get you out of here alive.
I'm going to get you out of here alive.
Oh my god, we've got a freaking kaiju up in this shit!
Uh-huh.
we love the rain. It's like angels are splooching all over us.
Isn't a kaiju? Isn't that Pacific Rift and Godzilla?
It's
It's a
what?
kaiju, isn't it? A kaiju.
Is
It's
that
like a
right?
massive sea monster from the deep.
Is it?
But I've heard that phrase used before.
I've heard that word before.
Yeah, kaiju.
Kaiju is a
What's-
Japanese genre of films and television featuring giant monsters. The term
There you go.
kaiju can refer to the giant monsters themselves. Very good.
There you go.
So what are you thinking about that? I'm really torn on that. I can't. I think it's.
I ain't gonna go watch it in the
trying to
cinema.
it's trying to be really edgy, almost like if Tarantino did a superhero movie or something.
Yeah. Do you know what? It might be very good when I watch it, but I ain't running out to watch it in the cinema. I'll wait till it's available to watch for free, I think.
I just worry if it's trying too hard for its own good, it's just going to fall flat.
Well, DC, Zack Snyder now has wrestled back a bit of DC, saying, "Look, this was my vision," and people are going, "Oh, wow, it was actually going to be quite good."
Yeah.
So maybe Gunn's trying to do the same, going, "Look, I'm allowed to now realize my vision of Suicide Squad, and this is what it's going to be like." So, do you know what? It could be quite good. But yeah, I ain't rushing out to watch it. So now we're going to look at The Suicide Squad from James Gunn.
Supervillains. Sad souls in costumes. Wanting you to think they're all dark and deep. What's it like? Living life.
Sorry, I was just also going to say the last trailer left me feeling slightly cold and thinking it would look a bit awkward almost. So I'm intrigued to see whether this is going to give me a completely different reaction and get me really enthused to go and see it.
Life is a punchline. But all it would take would be one blessed act of rebellion for you to restore your dignity in its entirety.
You know the deal. Complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence. You fail to follow my orders in any way, and I detonate the explosive device in the base of your skull.
Love him or hate him, these are your brothers and sisters for the next few days.
Any questions?
So you see that shot that was just on there?
Yeah.
I'll just pause it. I guess that one. I guess that underlines the point. I was trying to make it look so much more comic book than any other superhero movie.
Yeah, it does, especially with the costumes as well. They're letting themselves look a bit silly.
It also looks like an X-Men cartoon or something. I'm thinking, I guess these two have drawn the most attention, but yeah.
Was there a werewolf we saw then as well?
It was like I don't know. It was like a cat guy or something.
Cat guy. Best comic book character ever. Cat guy.
Any questions?
Oh, that was a shot. That was quite a good shot, to be fair.
Yes, that is your hand. Very good.
We're all gonna die.
I hope so.
Oh, for God's sake.
So they changed the obscenity. They removed it. Interesting. I prefer this trailer.
Yeah.
This is go for the action fans. The last one was trying to be kooky and edgy.
Well, that's kind of our thing.
What the?
Although there are elements that are in both.
Start the day.
They call you Peacemaker?
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
I thought you were the crazy one.
I am.
Definitely there.
Here's the deal. We fail the mission, you die.
If we find out any information you give us is false, you die.
If we find out you have personalized license plates, you die.
What? No.
Was that a little bit like Where is Gamora? I'll do you one better. Who is Gamora?
Yeah.
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Why is Gamora?
I totally screwed that up in the previous episode. I could not remember the actual quote. Everything about that trailer was better than the previous one.
Yeah.
I
ain't gonna run out to see it.
I think to me it looks quite similar to the live action version of Masters of the Universe starring Dolph Lundgren.
Give me the cosmic key.
Yeah, well that may be better. I don't know.
Courtney Cox, a young Courtney Cox.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about that movie and those trailers. Part of me wants to be really excited with it being James Gunn, but I'm not anti-DC in any way. I'll take a movie on its own merits, but something about it just feels like it's trying to be too edgy for the sake of it.
Well, like the Suicide Squad is a bit like Guardians, isn't it? Guardians was on the periphery of the Marvel, the Infinity Stone saga, even though it was pretty much the pioneering one. It kind of like was on the periphery, wasn't it? And this Suicide Squad is kind of on the periphery of the DC sort of hero universe.
I mean, those actors in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm talking mainly, and Shane Adams not here because we'd be spending 50 minutes listening to do a monologue about Chris Pratt. But Chris Pratt is absolutely amazing as Star-Lord. He just walks that line between kind of cocky and cheesy and silly and then obviously Dave Bautista,
invincible and fallible at the same time as well. Yeah, Dave Bautista's great.
Yeah. But I just don't. I also with an ensemble cast as big as that, it's going to be hard for any one character to really shine. Okay, so the next trailer we're going to watch. This is coming out on the 3rd of September. I don't know if I said when Suicide Squad was coming out or the Suicide Squad. So that's coming out on the 30th of July.
Right.
And the next movie's coming out. There's a bit of a gap then, the 3rd of September.
Right.
And my good boy might get to go and see this for my birthday, which is on the 21st of September.
51.
So staying with the superhero theme, this is a new character in the MCU. This is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Straight away, what do you think of when you see that shot?
Kill Bill, where she's in
Kill
the
Bill,
coffin.
yeah. But also potentially a reference to the I mean,
Bruce Lee, the one,
Bruce Lee punch.
Yeah. We got there.
What's that me in the morning? Nah.
I gave you 10 years to live your life. Now you see me rise. And where did that get you? You walked in my shadow. I trained you.
I'd say so far, I think this looks amazing. We don't have many modern day epic kung fu movies. It's just not something
how long ago was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
I actually checked
5 years ago now.
I checked that the other day by complete coincidence, and the reason was obviously we are going to do a Karate Kid episode at some point, and obviously we're also then going to have to recast the Karate Kid. So I was looking for potential Mr. Miyagi candidates, not to get too obvious.
Chow Yun-fat is your
Chow Yun-fat, yeah. So I'm pretty sure. Well, I checked it out. I think it was 2001 that was released.
So the most dangerous people in the world come kill you. Son, it's time for you to take your place by my side. You better watch out, 'cause it's my time. That's not going to happen. It's a new era, yes, I come alive. You can't outrun.
That was properly which Bond film? Daniel Craig, where he's fighting in that still under development apartment block, where he's got the neon signs on the outside.
Okay. This guy's good.
Who are you?
It's good that when someone asks you your name, you don't even have to answer. You just like project your name.
That's what I do when someone asks who I am. I just give a hand gesture as well. The Legend of the Ten Rings.
Just in time for the Olympics.
Speed,
yeah.
We make a good team.
Yeah, I'll watch that. I think it'll be quite good.
That looks amazing. Can't wait to see that. Just something new as well. It's a new character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
I remember thinking when they were wrapping up Phase 4 of the MCU and all the characters were getting killed. I remember thinking, God, how on earth are they going to carry on the MCU? I was thinking, you can't bring in new characters. You just can't do it because the characters are so established now. And it just proves they've got.
Yeah, they've proved it. With good production and good writing, you can do anything, Dave, can't you? So, yeah, they've proved that. All right, cool. What have we got next?
Okay, we've got the last superhero movie of the evening.
Right.
Can you tell what it is yet?
Is it Thor: Love and Thunder?
No, it isn't. There isn't a trailer out for that yet. But
I was wondering why you're doing a bottom of the world accent then.
So it may have sounded slightly like Korg from Thor Ragnarok, but it was actually my impression of Rolf Harris, which is somewhat questionable.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the sequel to Venom.
Oh, cool.
Starring one of my favorite actors, Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
My man crush. So this is Venom: Let There Be Carnage.
Cool.
Obviously, he was right at the end of the first one, played by Woody Harrelson, wasn't he? He was a prisoner. Although I think it was a post-credit sequence. You had to watch it to the end to see it.
But everyone's basically Woody Harrelson's going to be Carnage. That was what came out on social media, didn't it? So we all knew how it was going to go. Well, that's cool. Straight in.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Oh, so Hardy's in jail.
I don't know. He's visiting, I think. I think that was him visiting Carnage.
Right, okay.
I say either. You say either. I say neither. And I say neither.
Not too sure how I feel about that. It's a bit Gremlins too, for my liking.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's not quite Ewoks or Jar Jar, but it is a bit Gremlins too. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's that middle ground, or they're quite gone the whole hog.
Yeah, they've tried to do comedy, but it's just come across.
Yeah,
as
it's the odd couple, isn't it? They're trying to be the odd couple with Tom Hardy and Eddie and Venom. I get it. Let's see.
Either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. Ta-da! Catch up.
Excuse me.
He's obviously had to like sit there and think, how would Venom sing the song? And he's had to come up with something. But
I say potato and you say potato. I say tomato, you say tomato.
It's up there with Bane for his finest voice acting.
Yeah.
You'll just have to imagine the fire. It will be painful for you.
And then re-record the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yummy.
I just played it and it went, yummy.
A cookie.
Good evening, Eddie.
Hey, Mrs. Chen.
Good evening, Venom.
Function hall, Mrs. Chen.
He says hi.
Is it just me? Is that this all seem unnecessary supposition? We all know the score. Watching the sequel, we all know that Venom's part of him, and we all. Does it seem a bit unnecessary?
I don't know.
I don't need that. I don't need the comedy moments.
No, but the symbiotic relationship wasn't quite there because it was killing him in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Like up to like halfway through or 2/3 of the way through. So now it's obviously this is him, Venom and Eddie living together, symbiotic as they're supposed to be.
Harmoniously, there's still that struggle, but he's kind of got it under control.
Yeah, it's the odd couple, isn't it? It's the odd couple.
Yeah, it still jars a bit with me. I guess it's also Tom Hardy doing comedy. It's not someone you really associate, is it?
No. Although he tried to sell me a car the other day. What car had he on now? He was driving. I think it was an Audi. He was trying to sell me.
Was it?
Yeah, he was in the Audi and he's doing a voiceover as well. And I fancy buying one. He did a good job, but I just don't have the money. So
have you noticed his natural talking voice is really odd these days?
No.
He's got a really odd, almost artificially posh English voice.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because
he was like that. Remember the first Star Trek film he was in, where he was a clone of Jean-Luc Picard?
Right.
That was his basic voice. I think it must have been one of his first mainstream roles, and he was playing a young Jean-Luc because he was cloned. I forget which Star Trek Genesis, maybe. No, I forget. Star Trek Nemesis.
That's a Terminator movie, isn't it? Genesis.
Yes, so it must be Star Trek Nemesis then.
I've been thinking about you, Eddie. Because you and I are the same. Every decision we ever make. Who do we leave?
Stephen Graham with the wig on.
Yeah. That's cool. I love Stephen Graham.
And how do we leave them? Waiting in the darkness for the rescuer who never comes. Welcome back, Eddie Brock. It's been a long time. Miss you so much.
This is a pretty hardcore way to create a villain in a superhero movie, isn't it?
Soon come chaos. Chaos soon come. There's number that you ever do.
Cool. I'll enjoy that. Enjoyed the first one.
It hasn't arrived yet.
No!
We had a deal.
What's gonna happen? You gonna stop protecting me?
I am happy to eat, Mrs. Chen.
No, you cannot eat, Mrs. Chen.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's unfortunately the confirmed, haven't they? It's not going to be linked with the Marvel universe at all.
No, it's just a real shame. That would have been brilliant to bring all that together at some point. I don't know why, to be honest. It's a limited amount of mileage they've got by keeping it separate.
Yeah, weren't Sony playing hardball with Spider-Man to start with, and then something happened with the contractual rights there.
I think they thought they were going to start their own kind of mini superhero universe, but they've only got a limited number of characters to play with.
Yeah, so that's a shame because it'd be good to see Venom over in the MCU.
Yeah, I totally forgot till Kevin reminded me that Venom was actually in one of was it the Amazing Spider-Man or
Spider-Man 3?
Spider-Man 3. I don't even know if you can watch that movie.
Well, it wasn't quite Venom, was it? Tobey Maguire with his what he's doing, the dancing. Do you remember it? And he slicks his hair across. Yeah, it was basically the symbiote, and then Eddie was in that. So then Eddie gets Venom, and then when Spider-Man's got the suit, he's normal, but when Eddie has the suit, he's got the sharp teeth and everything. So they kind of did they played it down. It was kind of like a softly Venom in Spider-Man 3. Yeah, it'd be good to have it in the Marvel universe, like with all the other characters. But hey ho, rights are rights, ain't them? So people own who they own, and they play hardball. Right, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good.
Yeah, me too. And now, next up, we are going to be watching. Obviously, the last episode we did was Ghostbusters 1984, the original. So the next one we're watching is the next true Ghostbusters sequel, effectively Ghostbusters 3, I suppose. But it's not a sequel, but it's not a reboot, but it's a continuation of the original universe and characters. Yeah,
I like it. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Let's go.
Obviously, we're both really excited to see this.
Yeah.
I may have watched this at some point in the past, but to be honest, I really don't remember much about it. So it's as close to a genuine reaction.
Roll VT.
All right.
What are you doing here in Somerville anyway?
Honestly,
Somerville?
My mom won't say it, but we're completely broke. And the only thing that's left in our name is this creepy old farmhouse our grandfather left us.
So first thing I have to say, was that Finn Wolfhard that the camera was on, or was that someone that's playing his sibling or something in this movie?
No, that'll be his sister. It looked like it was him in the voiceover then.
Right there. Okay, but I mean
that's not Finn Wolfhard.
No, obviously now it's paused and I can see it. Obviously that's him there.
That's him there, and this is. But they've all got sort of hangovers from Harold Ramis, haven't they? That's the intention, I imagine.
The glass. I was going to point out the glasses being the reference here, basically. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like your whole Trading Places. If the character wears glasses, then my new actor has to wear glasses.
No, she's wearing the round. I mean, she looks quite a lot like Egon in the round glasses. That's what I was going to say. And the whole Jewish vibe, obviously, and we kind of know that they're. Egon's family. If you know anything about anything by now about this movie, you know that this is about Egon's family, because obviously he's the only Ghostbuster that's no longer actually physically with us anymore.
It's this creepy old farmhouse our grandfather left us in the middle of nowhere. Why'd you bring me up here?
Entertainment value?
What is that?
I don't know.
Is that a little bit Ghostbusters too, with the purple kind of goop in the sewer?
Yeah, it's just then how come so Egon's family end up moving somewhere, and then coincidentally that same day or that week there's a ghost problem.
That's annoying, isn't it?
But the effects are different. It's a bit creepier, that. A bit more menacing than Ghostbusters, which was kind of like the ghosts or whatever. Slimer, you could just go and have a beer with him, or you could ghostbust him, whatever you want to do.
Also have to say solid 9 out of 10 for Finn Wolfhard's reaction acting there.
Yeah, like our reaction to all these trailers. 10 out of 10 acting.
Somehow, A town that isn't anywhere near a tectonic plate, that has no fault lines, no fracking, no
Paul
loud
Rudd,
music,
spot
even,
on.
is shaking on a daily basis.
I mean, we already like it. Though it could be the most terrible movie, but we're going to enjoy it if Paul Rudd's in it.
And I'm now going to cast Paul Rudd as the seismologist in when we do Tremors.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to change the cast around.
Have you used them before?
Nope, but I will use him in Tremors.
I need to decide whether I'm going to implement the you can't reuse an actor or you can't reuse them if anyone's
if someone else is using that's not fair because I could just play all my big cards on the first movie and you can't use anybody then.
Yeah.
So no, if you've used them before, you can't use them again. But if they're not, if they've been used by someone else, you can.
I think we said this though. In reality, though, an actor doesn't do one movie and then retire.
No, exactly. Yeah, but I think you got your favourite leading women, leading men, and I think you could just overuse them, couldn't you, a little bit? So, but we need to have some strong rules. Right, press play.
Under the dining table now. Hey, remember that one summer we died under a table?
I found this in my living room.
Whoa, killer replica.
A replica of what?
A ghost trap?
Yeah, that was a cool little reference. Is it just me though? Did that trap look smaller than the ones from the original?
Well, they made the trap smaller in Ghostbusters 2 anyway.
Oh, so they refined the technology at the time. Oh.
Well, not even that. It was basically a props thing, wasn't it? So the actors said everything was too heavy in the first Ghostbusters film, so they made the trap smaller, and the proton packs smaller as well and lighter.
Okay. I will accept that explanation as being valid
because it's true. It's a bit creepier. I like it.
Ghost sighting in 30 years.
New York in the 80s. It's like The Walking Dead. Your dad never mentioned this to you?
I love that. I love the fact that they use that as archive news footage.
Yeah,
that just really creates a reality that you believe in now.
But are you not already feeling just the amount of kids in this film? It's just going to be Stranger Things.
It's just my mom. My grandfather died. My mom says we're just here to pick through the rubble of his life.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Call it fate.
Fate. Call it karma.
Call it luck. Call it karma.
Can I just say, I'm surprised. I'm shocked. I legitimately have not seen this trailer before. I assumed I'd seen it at some point a long time ago. I've never seen this trailer.
Did it give you goosebumps then?
Yeah.
Call it fate. Call it luck. Call it karma.
Like
I believe things happen for a reason.
We were destined to get thrown out of this dome. Why? To go into business for ourselves. As what? We could carry on.
I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Come on, darling.
It's very Jurassic Park, isn't it?
Pterodog in it. So is that Zool? Is that Zool back or Gozer?
Could be. Interesting.
It has a gunner seat?
That was what the proton packs were strapped to, wasn't it? They used to come out the side on the rack.
But rolled, not on not on a projectile sort of like gas cylinder or anything. They just had to pull them out.
They came outwards on a
They
rack.
pulled them out, but that was an automatic outwards, wasn't it? I'm excited. I'm disappointed. I don't want Stranger Things. I want Paul Rudd to go and get his other equally amusing friends to form like a Ghostbusters team and sort this out. I don't want it to just be a kid's adventure like Stranger Things again.
Well, I'm pretty sure we know that the original Ghostbusters come back into it somehow.
I don't want that either. I don't want it.
No, but they're not going to reprise their roles as active ghost fighting Ghostbusters, but they are in it somewhere along the way, and hopefully a tasteful kind of discreet role.
It's never that way. It's never that way, is it? It never works out that way.
Well, at some point, if this is going to carry on as a franchise or a universe, then they need to reestablish some, current, present day Ghostbusters, one way or the other. And it's not going to be kids. It ain't going to be kids.
Yeah, we don't need to be 14, 15.
I am afraid of no kids.
Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, and Oscar Isaac are all.
Wait a second. This seems familiar. Recasting Ghostbusters. I think there's another episode of The Great Movie Show if you want to see that.
Yeah, link above or below. I don't know where you put them. Right, cool. I'm excited for that. That's going to be good. What's the next one?
Right, so this is the last one, the last trailer that we're going to watch. This is due to be released on the 19th of November, 2021. I failed to say for the previous one, but Ghostbusters is due to be released on the 11th of November. So we're pretty far out now. We're pretty much to the end of the year.
I missed a trick there. Why? It's already filmed. It's already in the can. Why don't you release it on Halloween?
It's a very good point. I don't know, actually. Normally it would be because there's something else that they're worried about kind of, conflicting with at the box office.
Ghostbusters Halloween makes sense.
You've got a really good point. This movie's been ready to go for so long, and it seems such an obvious thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the next one we're going to watch,
I feel the need.
You're probably looking
need for a 70-year-old pilot in the cockpit of an F-14 fighter jet.
Lloyd's a big fan of Tom Cruise, and I assume a big fan of Top Gun. Yeah,
love Top Gun.
Yeah, I mean, I like Top Gun as well. I'd watch it. I'm not massive on it. It's okay. It's a big game.
Never close your eyes anymore.
Lloyd particularly enjoys the volleyball scene.
Do you know what? The track in that scene is Kenny Loggins playing with the boys is awesome. It's great. I do. Yeah, I know that's a bit. That's a dubious element, but I've got it on my running soundtrack on my iPod Nano as well. It's Kenny Loggins is a genius.
Next one we're going to watch is the sequel to Top Gun Maverick, coming out later this year. Let's go. It's not in theaters July the 2nd for anyone that saw that popping up.
Your instructor is one of the finest pilots this program has ever produced. His exploits are legendary. What he has to teach you may very well mean the difference between life and death.
So are we assuming that Maverick's an instructor now?
Yeah, but why have we got there's a guy who looks a bit like Iceman, there's a guy that looks a bit like Goose.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be a flashback with new actors, or I don't know.
Plus controversial.
I know
there's a woman. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool, but it's obviously not a flashback. But why have they got? No one's got mustaches these days, so that guy's obviously be told to grow a mustache to be like Goose.
I didn't see a mustache. Did that pass me by?
Yeah.
There's no way someone had a mustache.
Yeah, he's basically Goose. No, we got Iceman and we got Goose. There's Iceman in the foreground.
Him.
Yeah, it's Goose. Mustache.
He's not got
Iceman.
a mustache.
No, not him. Press play, Dave. There's Iceman. Goose.
Oh yeah, that's a bit embarrassing. Is that the guy that was in the drumming movie?
Yeah.
With Flash. What's his name?
Yeah.
He was in Fantastic Four as well.
Adam will know. Yeah, so he was in the second iteration of Fantastic Four.
He looks
But
like
he's Goose. He's what was his name? Anthony Michael Hall. Anthony
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Yeah, from ER. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. We got Iceman. We got Goose.
That is a bit silly. You kind of go, why cast someone that's trying to look like Goose? Just
Dave, though, it might be November though when they're filming.
Let me guess. This is going to be Goose's son that Maverick is having to teach to fly.
No, it's no relation. It's just Movember. He's just doing it for charity.
No. I guarantee that is Goose's son, and that's the only reason he's got to have a ludicrous moustache in the movie.
Right.
And I don't like that kind of like in your face obviousness in movies.
Maybe we'll get. Are we going to get? What's her name?
Kelly McGillis.
Sally. No.
Oh, Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
Are we going to get her in? Is she still alive? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she's still alive. Yeah. Val Kilmer's not doing too hot, but she's still alive.
So she'll probably be. I reckon Val Kilmer will get like a little cameo in this.
Yeah. Might see his gravestone at the end.
That's Jim Morrison. Right, carry on.
All right, okay. Pair of shares.
Yeah, been there.
Your reputation precedes you.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
They're called orders, Maverick.
No, next summer. It's out this winter.
I thought I was getting into it then.
Sorry.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking. Today's exercise.
He's got the same helmet. He's looked after that, hasn't he?
Yeah. Don't get damage in the plane, did he?
Mustn't have ejected or anything.
Exercise is dogfighting.
2 versus 1? He's got to be kidding.
Is that Fat Boy or Fanboy on the
John Hamm there. Oh, the Goose guy does have a go at him. It might be Goose's son, blaming him for his father's death.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know that? I'm guessing that.
I don't know it, and I never, like I said, I never even noticed a moustache. But as soon as you pointed out, I instantly knew what the plot was.
Jennifer Connelly.
So you've basically just ruined that movie for me. Thank you.
Yeah. No, but that makes it better. Jennifer Connelly's in it. That makes any movie better.
Yeah. She's looking a bit old. She's looking a bit old now, though, isn't she?
Old schmold. She looks great.
Bit old, I'd say. For me. Oh, we got a volleyball scene again with ladies in it for a bit of interest.
That'll make it better. But Kenny Loggins' track over it with ladies playing volleyball. We've got a winner.
Yeah. Sake of equality. Although they're wearing kind of like lycra workout gear. The guys have still got the top off, the standard kind of Top Gear.
Top Gear.
Top Gear. Top Gun. Top Gear. I don't want to see Jeremy Clarkson playing volleyball with his top off. That's a classic.
Be like a personal game of swing ball, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Allegedly. Yeah, excited for that. That'd be good. That'll be the little comedy. That's a comedy bit. That's him doing a flyby, but he's in a
that's like a
stealth jet
fighter or something.
Yeah, but like a proper modern one. It even looks like an extra, not an extra, out the atmosphere one that he'd be in, and that'll be a big joke. He's doing a flyby on the guy's place that used to be in the control tower.
My question is that a movie that really needed to be made?
There's mileage in it.
Was the Top Gun story really needing to be continued, or
no? But it's a great high concept, so you can use that. It's basically you're going to use the cookie cutter design.
So what? The cookie cutter.
The cookie cutter design, and they don't have to put it on something else. The basically, it's basically a remake, but also with the continual storyline. So Maverick's there as a teacher, so he's the old Viper. I think, is that right? Yeah, Viper was the top.
Was that the instructor guy?
Yeah, well, there was a couple. There was Jester, which was Michael Irons, I want to say.
Ironside.
Michael Ironside. And the Viper was
Lou
Tom.
Gossett Jr.?
No,
Tom Skerritt.
Tom Skerritt from Alien.
Yeah.
Was the main instructor. So it's the same sort of thing, but you've also got the legacy of Maverick. So he's an instructor there now. And then we've already decoded it. It must be Goose's son. The fact they've put the mustache on him, which, like, why would you do that? For God's sake. I've grown this mustache from my dad as his legacy.
Just have a poster note on his head that says, "I am Goose's son."
Yeah. Well, they might as well have got like Ryan Gosling to play him. Yeah. No, I'm excited about that. That'd be cool.
See, I don't know if I'm excited about it. I don't think.
It's a good. Go and watch the original again, and then hopefully, if it's got the same sort of high concept scenes and everything, it'll be a good movie.
Top Gun never set my world on fire. It never have.
Didn't it?
Not really.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. Kelly McGillis, take her or leave her, but just
certainly now I would leave her. Have you seen her recently?
She was in. What was she in? Steakland. Did you see that?
Is that an all-you-can-eat beef restaurant?
No, it's
that would make sense.
A vampire film.
Oh right, okay.
I couldn't even tell it was her till I saw the credits at the end.
Yeah.
Bless her. But yeah, Jennifer Connelly and it will be good. Right, cool. So that's everything that's coming soon. What are you most excited about, Dave?
Of all the ones we've watched, Ghostbusters, Afterlife, probably followed by Shang-Chi, followed by Black Widow, and Venom is pretty close to those. The Suicide Squad, I'll watch it, but I'm thinking I'm not going to like it, so it needs to change my mind. Quiet Place Part 2.
Yep.
I like the first one. I want to watch it. Again, I'm not like chomping at the bit to see it. It's a movie that I kind of forgotten was even happening, to be honest, until I watched the trailer. And Top Gun Maverick. I'll watch it. Hopefully it's good, but
we just need to put that GIF on of Alan Partridge just before he goes smell my cheese, just going. That.
What about you?
I'm a bit different. I'm very much looking forward to A Quiet Place Part 2. I love the first one. I can't watch it that often because the first bit kills me with their youngest son. But I loved it. I love John Krasinski. I'm a massive fan of. And so this one is not going to disappoint. It's going to be fantastic. And it'll give a little bit of backstory and go a different way. And the humans are the threat, I imagine, in this one, because that's what would happen. They would be. And then Top Gun Maverick. I love Top Gun. It's just such a good high concept film. It's amazing. And so I will watch it and hopefully it won't disappoint. If it does, it does. Ghostbusters Afterlife, I'm excited about watching because it's part of the proper not the real Ghostbusters, but whatever you can legally call it, because it's the Ghostbusters timeline, isn't it?
Basically, not Melissa McCarthy will do me.
She's all right. No, she's done good things. Bless her. But anyway, it's 1984. This is 1984 timeline, so it's going to be really interesting to watch. I just hope it's not another Stranger Things where it's just all about the kids. I'd like Paul Rudd, or maybe, do you know what? If they use it as a sounding board to see what people want, and from the back of this comes Paul Rudd and his mates from college, his other seismologists that start to learn about paranormal, get together.
It never
That'd be good
occurred
for
to me.
Ghostbusters 4.
It never even occurred to me that this might be the jumping off point for Paul Rudd becoming part of the new Ghostbusters team moving forwards.
I hope so, because this is
That,
basically
that
just an
excites
interview.
me. That excites me ludicrously to think that Paul
Yeah.
Rudd could be making more Ghostbusters movies as a Venkman type character.
I don't care what character. I think this is the Spengler's sort of legacy, isn't it? This film, and Paul Rudd happens to be a seismologist that knows a bit about what happened in New York in the 1980s because he was around. At that time, he was probably in his late teens or whatever. And then he's a seismologist. He's been to uni. He'll have his mates, his circles he moves, and hopefully there's a ragtag band of people he can get together.
Yeah.
To just basically move on from this, because that's what Ghostbusters is. It's not, don't get me wrong. Imagine the kid actors in this are going to be very good, but I don't want another I've got Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. We had it. We had it part 2. Great, they've done a good job, but I don't need a kids movie with kids in. I want an adult or a sort of a PG-13, whatever with kids in. I want it with adults who are going to give me the comedy feedback that I need, and hopefully that's what it is. Hopefully it is just going to be, let's test the water, and let's get Paul Rudd and whoever else, Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans into Ghostbusters 4.
It's got to be Seth Rogen, surely. He's got to be in there somewhere as Ray, or he got him. I think he could play either.
Jason Segel, forgetting Sarah Marshall.
This is the whole kind of, this is the crew, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be good. So we have the
Jonah Hill as well. Jonah Hill's got to be in there.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Ghostbusters done.
Ghostbusters 4 done. You can.
We're not sticking to the original 4 personalities there, are we? We're just going for.
No, it's brand new. It's not recasting. This is Ghostbusters 4. We are casting for the first time. So we've got Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, and Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
That's the 4 mates from college. I think Paul Rudd goes back to his hometown and goes, right, I've got a problem. What do you do now? Well, I work on Wall Street. What do you do now? Well, I'm actually, I'm a PhD in, psychology. Parapsychology? No, just psychology. Right, okay, hold that thought. What do you do? And then, I've got an issue. Do you want to come and help me? That'd be good.
We're ready to believe you.
Okay, so that's the episode done. We've basically given a little summary of what's coming to cinemas soon. Now cinemas are open again, thank God. Hope you've enjoyed seeing some of those trailers. We've given you our thoughts. Some are better than others. I'm excited about more than Dave is, and Dave's excited about more than I am on some of them. And we hope you enjoy them. As usual, if you like what you've seen, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, give us comments, let us know what you'd like to see us do, and we'll see you next time. And that's a wrap.